Hey guys, welcome back to KY Coins and Collectibles. And what I've got here is a huge collection, and I'm going to have to probably break it up into 3 different videos because I have spent the last few days going through this collection and trying to get prices together, and it took me a while to value this collection. This collection, in one of my earlier videos, and I'll post a link up here. This is another part of the collection from my friend, one of my old time friends, and he was a long time coin collector, a long time, and I showed you in the earlier video of a lot of the Morgans and some other coins I had bought off of him. He had passed away. He was in his mid-90s, so he had lived a long, beautiful life, and we were friends for a long time, and I was friends with his family, and that's how I've been very fortunate to have known him and be able to acquire his collection. And this is the rest of it. So this gentleman, he had collected for a long time. I mean, I believe he was like 96 when he died, and he had started collecting back in the early 50s, and he had ran a little business. He ran a few businesses actually, and he was kind of well known in the area to collect silver and coins and just any type of coins that he could get a hold of. And he, like I said, he had ran a few businesses, so he had some money. He could buy stuff as it came in, or he was able to. So the first video you all had seen, and I linked it at the beginning. That was a big portion of it, and that was a bunch of Morgans. I mean, it was probably over 1,000 Morgans. They had more. I've gone back and bought more. There's more Morgans, and this time, the first time I tried to get a lot of the stuff I really liked and wanted to make sure I could get, I had saved up for a while and bought what I could. So that's been a while back. I mean, that's been about 5-6 months ago. Well, when you're buying huge collections like this, and I'm not really a big seller, I'm more of a collector right now, so it's hard to spend all your cash. And so what I've done over the last 4 or 5 months, I've saved up, and I've had enough saved up to where I could go back and buy another big portion of this, because it's hard whenever you're buying tens of thousands of dollars worth of coins. It's hard. I have sold some stuff from that collection to help purchase more from that collection, but they're saving it for me. There is a little left in the collection, but I've pretty much have bought the majority of it. This is one of the biggest collections I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of collections on TV and YouTube. I watch everybody's YouTube. This has been a huge collection, huge, and buying tens of thousands of dollars worth of coins, it's going to be a big collection. I watch a lot of videos. People are buying $15,000 to $50,000 worth of collections, and this is the type of collection where it's not a lot of slabbed coins. It's loose, raw silver, and I'll show you. And I've got a lot, and I'll try to make this as quick as possible because these videos, I can go on forever talking about this stuff. So, long story short, a great friend of mine, and a really great, amazing person. I've bought the majority of his collection, and it's cost me a lot of money. So a lot of this I will have to sell. I mean, I've got to get my money back. I've paid a lot for it. It took me about 5 hours. I went to their house and spent about 5 hours going through it and figuring up a price. they were happy, I was happy, and we told some old stories and laughed and cut up, and it's a good environment. I love it. I love talking with their family, and they're amazing people, and I wish they had somebody that was into it, but like most of the time when somebody passes away and they've had a big coin collection, the kids may not be interested in it at the time, or want to deal with it, or they've got projects, they've got to remodel a house they're working on, or got to put a kid through school. So I'm sure that'll happen to me one day. But I'm fortunate enough right now to buy some of this, and I just wanted to show you, kind of go through what I've got. And this is not your normal, the last video I made was kind of your standard collection, a handful or a bucket of coins. This is not that. So I hope you all really appreciate this video. I have been so fortunate to have known this gentleman and have the ability and to buy this collection. Pretty much I've been very fortunate, had the money saved up, didn't really, and I believe in silver, and I'm a big collector, and they knew he would we'd been friends, and he'd wanted me to have it. So I had tried to buy as much as I could, and it's a lot of money. Spent a lot of money on this. Yeah, so I'm broke right now. So I've got some stuff sold. The quickest thing I sell are the Silver Eagles, and he's had a bunch. Right now I've got I believe 12 tubes, and they're all, a lot of them are earlier dates. So these are the quickest to sell. I've got multiple people that'll buy these pretty much as soon as I take it to them. And and I'm not a really big, and I've already messed it up, I'm not really a big collector of Silver Eagles. I mean, I do have a collection of Silver Eagles, but I don't like to hoard up a lot of them. I mean, I'll keep a few tubes on hand, and like I said, I've got about 14 of those right now. I've got 12 here, and I've got 2 more put up. But I want to show you this video. I want to go through a portion of it that I really like. There's some unique stuff in here. I think I have found some nice items. I don't know, I'll let you all kind of help me out with judging it. Some stuff I want to get submitted. I have a lot of stuff to go through. So in this collection, like I said, he just basically liked silver coins. So what he would do is, as something come into the store or his business and it was silver, he would just put it back. So I mean, and he had some money, so he could afford to buy a lot of stuff and just put it back, put it in the safe, and put it in the vault, and a lot of stuff. This one might have some clad in it, but what he'd do is every time he'd get some, he'd just put it back. That one's mixed. I think a couple of these on top had some clad stuff in it. Yeah, there was a bunch of 40%ers, 90%, and these. But I'll get these. I've got a box of them over here. I don't have enough room on the. So this is just a small box. In the part 2, I'll show you the rest of it. This is just a very small portion of it. These are Liberties, 20 of them, and he would just put them up. It don't matter what condition. Some of them are slick, some of them are nicer detail. So I've got to go through all of these and sort them out. And the stuff that I really enjoyed, so I know he's got tubes of Walkers and Benjis. All that stuff's really nice, and I know there's key dates. A lot of the stuff he had would be in like boxes like this, and it was just an assortment. Like he'd have stuff thrown in there, and I've got stuff scattered all over the table here. And like this stuff just takes a while to go through, and I would love going through this stuff. And I found some bust dimes, a lot of silver dimes. This was really neat. I'd never seen one of these International Monetary Mint, and it's a little tiny Morgan. There's the reverse. Yeah, so that was really neat. I've got a little Buffalo nickel, one of these, but I'd never seen a little Morgan. Try to put it back where it was in the dust over there. But yeah, when I opened this, it was like stuck together, so I know it hadn't been opened in 15, 20 years. But there's so much to go through. Like he's got tubes of Indian heads and wheat pennies, silver dimes, mercury dimes. There's a couple knives in this collection. Here's a flying eagle. Needs to be cleaned a little bit. It's a 1857. I know they're really dark and super hard to see. A big old nickel. The thing's huge compared to a regular nickel. I'd never seen one of these. I don't know if that's like pewter or I don't know what that is. This is the type of stuff I love to go through. These are 64s. They look uncirculated. Yeah. More Indian head. Some large pennies. A bunch of foreign stuff. But this stuff, some war nickels, some plated dimes. So I love going through all sorts of stuff like that. I'm gonna set that back over to the side. And here, these old cigar boxes. Whenever I see those, I know they're kind of full with knickknacks and different stuff. And I've got a couple boxes of these. So that one's about to blow out. So what he'd do is once he got 20 or so collected, he'd put them in just these bags, like these little coin wraps, and he'd just put Benjamin Franklin, Walking Liberty, and Kennedy 64s. And there's a lot of these, and I'll show you in video too. I've got 4 boxes like this full of these, and it was very heavy. It's a lot of silver, 90% constitutional silver, and I'm going to look through all of them to try to find. I think they're all pretty war and common years. Some of them are in a little better shape, but he wasn't really. See, like that one's actually not bad right there. It's got a little better details. But he wasn't really a numismatic as much as he was he loved this. He just loved raw silver. He did have a bunch of collections. I mean, he did have a bunch of sets put together. But it was mostly just this stuff. And there's some better condition ones in here. So I got a lot of these to go through, and it's going to take me a long time. And what I done whenever I was going through these, I would basically just be like, okay, there's 20 in this one, 20 in that one, get a price, add it up, and then just multiply it by what it was, and more or less 20 or 30% less. I know there's kind of like when there's so much, and I try to look through a lot of it to make sure it is what it is, and there's not like a whole row of seated liberties or something, which there wasn't. There's really none. There wasn't anything older Like I've not really found any Barber halves. They're all Walkers and Benjamins, and a lot of Kennedys. And this one looks mostly uncirculated. So there's a row of Kennedys, and he'd have a row. Here's some newer ones, which I don't even know. That look like an old bank road. It says 81 new. So that's a row of 1881 new. So I may tape that up. That may be a good giveaway right there. But there's $10 worth of 1981 Kennedys. And then your knickknacks. Bunch of buffalo nickels. There's a lot of buffalo nickels. I've got a whole jar, like an old mayonnaise jar full. And I'll show you that in this video, or probably the next one. Which I've not gone through any of the buffalo nickels. I just kind of got a value on them, added them up, quick value on them. And here, this was really neat, and I kind of wanted to show you this. And I've got a lot of cool stuff I want to show you at the end of the video here, so just hang with me. And also, I wanted to go ahead, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video. Thank you all for the subbing to the video, all my subscribers. I think the other day I just hit 900, and I was at like 902 or something. Yeah, 902 subscribers at the beginning of this video. So I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. And when I hit 1,000, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'll figure something out. It'll be something nice, so don't worry. I will try to select somebody random, some subscriber. So just make sure you're subscribed. I may do a couple, because 1,000's a lot of subscribers, I think. So I may do a couple giveaways. So just hang around, keep watching, and you may be the lucky customer, subscriber. So just hang with me, and thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. I love doing this. I just love it. I mean, I'm nobody fancy. I just love what I'm doing, and love showing you all some coins and trying to educate and teach you something. And really, just this is a good way for me to enjoy my hobby and passion, and it's a good way to make a little money. It's a good investment. So hope you all enjoy it. I know a lot of people that are on my subscriber list, they like bullion stuff, numismatics, and just overall collecting stuff. We're all hoarders in some form or fashion. We all like to collect stuff, especially if you like coins and silver. You're a collector. So I appreciate you all again, and thank you all for watching. But here, this was in the collection, and he's got a bunch of proof sets, silver, uncirculated, regular proofs, and this was in there, and I've never seen one of these, and I thought it was really neat, and I looked them up online, and they really wasn't going for as much as I thought they were, because I'd never seen one of these, and I didn't know how to price it. So I was like, okay, let's check out eBay, see what is going on, and they're really not as much as you think they are. So let's check it out. This is the nickel coin and die set. So let me show you. The die is what punches the coin. So this is a nickel die, and this one is the Westward Journey die. And so more or less, I believe it would just be sitting there or on top, and it presses it. So looks like they have milled the top of it off, so they don't want me punching my own nickels. But I thought that was really cool. I don't have one. The only one I've really seen in person. It's very heavy, so that's really neat. And more or less, this is what punches the coin, and it comes with a uncirculated nickel, the Westward Journey. So that's really cool. That's the only one I've seen. Very, very cool. Like, I'd love to have a Morgan one. Now that would be amazing. And I know those dies are huge, of course, but I always wanted a die, and there it is. But I don't think they were that much. I don't want to be mistaken, but I think the one I seen was like $100, $150. So I may be mistaken. I'd looked up a bunch of stuff, so I may have my numbers wrong. But it's really cool. I think that's a cool piece to have for any collection. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I may try to sell it or just keep it. It's hard to keep everything when you're buying big collections, so you got to be choosy with what you want to keep. But I thought that was really cool. There was a bunch of little stuff in here, like little commemoratives, the brass tokens. That one's got $2.50 on it. It looks like a Daniel Boone commemorative. It is actually James. Can't really see it through the plastic, and I don't want the first permanent settlement of the West, bicentennial, 1774 through 1974. So Harrodsburg, Kentucky. There you go. So it actually is related to the state I live in. So that's neat. Pretty cool. And there was, like I said, there wasn't many slabbed. I think this was the only slabbed coin in there. It's a 2011 San Francisco 1 cent penny, early release proof, 69. So it's really nice, but nothing too special. I will show you. I'll show you the piece dollar collection here in a second. But these were the only 2 Dansko books that were in the collection this time. Like I said, I'd went back to buy more. Got some money saved up. You have to go back buy more. A couple bills we'd set in there. I believe this was a lucky bill. Where's George? So if y'all want, type that in, see where it's been. Those circulate around. I see them every now and then. And more or less, you can just go to this website and type in the serial number, and they'll tell you like where it's been. So if you want to pause and check that out. There wasn't a lot of currency in this collection. The first video I had bought in my first video, in the first time I went, I had bought. He had a few large notes, some silver certificates, but there wasn't a lot. He didn't really believe in paper currency. He more or less just liked silver. He thought it would last longer. He was afraid of bills rotting, and he just didn't think they would last as long as a physical metal, precious metal. So he didn't really have anything to do with currency. This is a full Susie set, which is pretty neat. I know a couple of I believe it was I don't know if this one's got there's variety and variety one. I believe it was a small rim and large rim, but it's pretty neat. The Susies. You can still find the Susies. More or less, I believe they're just face value unless they're in really good condition. This one's a proof, so that's pretty nice. There's a couple proofs in here. But it's a neat little set, especially for somebody just wanting to get started into collecting. And it's a newer, modern set. So it's really neat. Sorry for hitting the camera. But these Dansko albums are probably worth more than the coins in it. But the proofs are actually pretty nice. So these albums are at least $30, $40, $50, depending on which one you're buying, at least. So that's really neat. And I'll show you the piece dollar. So as I was going through this collection, and last time I had bought a lot of coins out of this collection, he had a complete piece dollar set, and I'd figured up what it was, and I'd bought it. And I had missed this one. This one was far, like, back in his safe and put up somewhere. It's a little different than I was looking, and that's how big this collection was. It was like I only seen a half of it last time and kind of got what I wanted. And this time I went back, spent a lot more time looking and digging through, and found another Peace Dollar set. So very happy, and found a lot more Morgans, and I'll show you that here in a second. In this set, there was a 21. As everybody knows, the 1921 is a key date, and it looks like it's been cleaned or polished, but it's still good details. A couple of these have good luster on them. And the only two it is missing is the 27D and the 27S. It does have the 27 and 28, so that's a key date, the 28. And I believe this is the older Dansko 2. It don't have anything in the back, it's in the front. So this one tells the mintages, and a lot of times they're in the back, I've noticed. So I think this one's the older one. And she had said, his wife and daughter had said that he had multiple of these, and some of them he'd had for 15, 20 years. So I don't know which one's older. This one looks different than the one I have, but still it's a nice Dansko, and I believe it is the 7175. It's the 7175, but it's really neat. This one, this 21, I'm very happy to get. So that was really nice when you buy these Peace Dollars. And these Peace Dollar sets, if you're trying to put a good set together, this is a good set to put together. And the values have really gone up just in the last like 5 years on Peace Dollars. So their prices are going up. I know a lot of people on YouTube, they're starting to talk about them more. So Peace Dollars, they're still affordable. Now I think they're a great purchase. You can find 1922s everywhere. So, and they're easy to pick up. So get you some, try to put a set together. It's a short series. A couple of your harder ones will be the 27s, 28s, and the 21, of course. Then a couple of these coins will cost you more than, probably 3 of these coins will cost you way more than, or honestly 2 of these coins will cost you more than the rest of the set, depending on the grade, quality, and condition. So, but it's still a good set to pick up, easy, short. So, but I was happy to get this. I want to go over them a little better, look at some great, see if any of them I want to submit. But very happy with that. And I'll move along here. I don't want to take up too much more time. Like I said, these are going to be long videos. So here, I had found this, and I'd missed this last time. These are pretty much silver dollars, and it's a box. It's a penny box, and it's full. I believe there's about 155 silver dollars in here. So, and that's Peace Dollars, Morgan dollars. So it's a mixture of two. I've kind of skimmed through them, watching for like key dates. Didn't really see any major key dates in good condition. I found some better dates, but they're in war condition. They've got some wear on them, but a lot of them are still in good shape. Here's a 25. I believe it's a Philadelphia Peace Dollar, and I'll go through them. There's some better dates in here. 26. Another 22, and like I said, every time and it's really neat, and I'll show you something if I can find one real fast. That one's got some PVC damage. You can see the green on it. I'll have to clean that up, and when you're cleaning them up, make sure you use 100% acetone, no color like added to it. This one's about to fall out. That's a 20. I mean, look how rusty them staples are rusted. Now, you know that thing's been in there for 40 years, probably. That one is rusted. I'd take that out. I don't want it to. See, and here's another one. Here's a 22. It looks nice. I may clean the PVC off that, and I can see some luster underneath of that PVC. That's how thick that PVC is. And there was a couple of older. Here's a prime example. And here's another one. So these are old slabs or old flips. $7 on this old flip. It's a 1889, and it's been cleaned, polished. But I say he probably bought this for about $7. Now, how long ago do you think that was when he bought that for $7? And he had told me, like, over the years we'd talked about buying silver dollars, and he would tell me back in the 50s and 60s and up into the 70s, whenever he was buying dollars, he remembers paying $1 for them sometimes, but then they would go to $2 or $3. He said people would start making fun of him. He said, "You're paying $3 for a dollar," and he said people just would make fun of him all the time. They're like, "What are you doing? Why are you paying $1 for, or why are you paying $5 for a dollar?" And this one, as you can see, it says $5, and it's a 1921. It's got some wear on it, probably been cleaned. A lot of these have been cleaned, and there's a lot of them with some good luster. Here's a 21. It's got some decent life left on it. Actually looks pretty good. But yeah, I mean, when you were buying them back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, and but yeah, he would just tell me, like, people would make fun of him. He said, "Man, why you can't be giving $5 for a dollar," because back then, I mean, everything was silver. Like, your quarters were silver. I mean, it'd be basically him going to the bank and being like, "I'll give you 50 cents for your silver quarter." But he didn't really do that, but he would hoard up silver because he knew what was going on. He knew that silver wasn't going to be around. The currency wasn't going to be made out of silver much longer, and he was kind of ahead of the curve. And I know there's been multiple hoards like that. People just knew it was silver and it had more value than the face value. So, man, this shows it right there. So, I mean, he's got $7 on that one, $5 on that one. I mean, you all would buy that for $5 right now, wouldn't you? Exactly. That's $1, but it's silver. It has a silver value to it now. So back then, he just said, yeah, he said people would make fun of me. I'd be buying silver dollars for $4 or $5. And he said they went to 10, and then he was buying silver dollars for $10, and then to 15, and then he would average his way in, kind of like buying stocks. I mean, you'll buy one for $7, and then next week you buy it for $5, and then the next week you buy it for $8, and then the next week it's $10, and then the next week it's back to $7, and you add them all up, you get an average. So he had done that for so many years, for 70 years, and he made good money out of it. He did sell a lot of it over the years, the last few years of him being alive. I know he had sold some, but not a lot. He loved it. I mean, he's the type that it would give him joy when he'd go in there and he could look through them and just look at it. I mean, he just really enjoyed it. And I've looked through most of these. That one don't even have a plastic on it. It's just out and about, living its best life. But there's a 25 with some luster on it, and I don't want to stand here and go through coins all day. I know y'all love it, though. If you're watching it, you do. And you can tell these are just old, and especially this one. I mean, how long does it take for staples to rust? And that one's actually rusted in half. So now that's an old coin right there. When the flip looks like that, and it's got $5 on it. So this gentleman, he was way ahead of the game. He knew what was going to happen. So, and I'll show you a few more. There's a Silver Eagle 2000, and he just passed away. There's a Canadian silver dollar, and it's actually in really good shape. That's a 65, and it's about to fall apart. So a lot of the stuff I'll have to re-slab. That's a 21. That one looks very flat. And I had, feels good though. The last collection I'd bought off of his family, his collection, I did come across, I believe, 2 fake Morgans. And the reason I pulled that one out, it kind of looked like that one. And what we'll do is, while we're filming, I've got my scale here, so this is a good contestant to weigh. And I think, I'm not even, it just looks off to me. So let's see what we got here. It's 27. This scale like kind of just bumps up to, if it's 26.7, it'll bump it up to 27. So it does weigh good. And let's see what we can do here. Yeah, it don't sound bad either. So I don't have anything else. I can test it a little better later on, but one of the fake ones I had got in the last video, it was really good. Like, there was one that was really good, and on the side, in the back, it said copy right beside the wing, and it's probably one of the best copies I have ever seen. So this had come from, it was a mint, it's got a certificate COA with it. It just looked kind of off to me, kind of flat and dull. And so it's always good to check your stuff, know how to check it. I'll check it better later on. I don't have my magnet with me. I kind of went through a lot of this and done quick tests on them, and more or less just, hope they all was real. I done a bunch of them, and that's why you kind of price it a little low too, because you never know when you're going to come through a handful of them, then be fakes. So you got to kind of factor that into it if you can't sit down and go through it, because I could have been there for 2 days trying to go through all this stuff, counting it hand by hand. So you just got to get a rough idea, the best you can, and then make a price, and then you all start just kind of going through it and just make it work. If you need to adjust your price a little bit and recalculate, because there's so much. If you're counting on all these tubes having 20 in it, and then half of them are clad, and you've priced it as silver, you've lost $100, at least $150. So you got to be careful, and you got to price that in. But I was really happy to find the rest of these Morgans. They're in plastic cases in the bottom. These are in old flips. So it's really great coming across old collections like this, but this is very rare. You don't come across old collections like this. This gentleman was just one of a kind. There's some more bad PVC, got to clean that up. 1921. A lot of these are 21s. There's a nice 64 Kennedy. But there's a bunch in here. Like I said, there was about 150, 155. And then I'll show you some other stuff. So this is going to be part 1 of the video, and I've got some other stuff to go through. I just don't want to make it way too long. So I'll try to go through the Morgans a little better. And over here, and I've got a couple things I don't really know much about. I did find a really nice walker, and this walker You may have seen this on my Instagram. I'd posted a video of it. You see the little rainbow, and it's got some decent detail left. I'll take it out. I know people are like, take it out of the flip so I can see it. And hope y'all can hear me good. I'm trying to talk a little louder and more into the microphone. But check that toning out. It's got some nice rainbow colors over here. It's got some decent detail left and some good luster on it. This one was raw, just by itself, and it was in a metal can. He had like 10 walkers in this metal can, and this one was in there. So, don't know if it was from the metal. It wasn't really, the can wasn't rusted, but there was, like all 10 of them have a little bit of toning on it, and this just so happened to be the best graded one with some really nice toning. So I thought that was really nice. Wanted to put that up. I just want to show y'all. Found a really nice bust half dime. Yeah, I believe it's a half dime. An 1836 bust. Nickel, more or less. It's a 5 cent, but I believe they called it half dime. It's in pretty good condition. I looked this one up. I believe it was about $100. It's in really good condition. So I've not checked it for varieties or anything. I know there's a couple different varieties on it, but it was pretty nice. I love those bust dimes. I've told you all that. And there was a nice, and I had to look this up. I'm not a big foreign or world coin guy. A one taler, I believe it's pronounced. And y'all know I suck at pronouncing stuff, so you have to look over me. 1757 one taler, or taller, however you pronounce it. Maximilian III, Joseph, silver. I looked this up, but it was really neat. It's in decent condition. I think it was about $100 is what I put on it. I've seen them going for 80 to 120, so I just kind of put it in the middle. Y'all know more about foreign stuff than I do, so. But it's really neat. I love some older foreign stuff, especially big size coins. So that was in there. That was really the only other one. This was one of the only ones in there. So, and I had found one of these in the collection last time, and it is a fractional gold California piece, and I've got to do a little more research on it. I believe it might be a copy. I don't know. I've got 3 of these. I need to submit and see, or at least see if they're gold. Take it to the local coin shop and have them scan it and see if it's gold. But a lot of these fractional golds are really tiny. I couldn't imagine having it in my pocket and losing it. So I'll have to do some more. That was in there. And more or less I told them like I'd have to check on it and see what it is. If it's gold, I'll pay them for it. So I'm basically right now I just need to see what this is, because I don't want to pay too much. Don't want to pay for gold and it not be gold. So that stuff I need to be like, I'll check it, see if it's gold, and then I'll pay you. So this I'm just checking it out for them, see what it is. And this I don't know either. This might be really cool, and y'all may look at it and tell me right off it's a copy. I think it may be a copy, because I've not seen any, and I know they're very expensive. And this is it. To me, I've looked over it. It can go both ways. It's got some markers that I like, because I've researched it and looked it up, and I know it's a very expensive coin, and I just want to make sure. and it's a 1776 Fugio dollar, and it's very dark, and it's been drilled, and I think it is pewter. Now y'all will know right off, probably looking at it, what it is, if it's fake. I know the majority of them are fake, so I'm going to say it's fake, just because you see more fakes than you do real. It's been hoed. It does have some pitting on it. A couple of the markers I looked at, I know one big thing was the position of the sun and the O on the front. A lot of fake ones are wider apart, and they're sun rays coming off of the sun, and the fake ones don't have rays outside of the inner circle there, but the real ones has rays coming off the sun outside of the circle, and this one does. So that's a good marker for me. You can see, and it's not, and it weighs good. I believe these weigh like, the real coin weighs like 18 grams or something. And I've actually got my book here, and if I can flip to it real fast, really hoping this is another one I'm checking on for them. I might have gone too far. These earlier pages in this red book you really don't use that much, so I know there is the 1787. I've seen people with those. I'm going to lay that down. And I don't know if I'll be able to find this quick enough. But when I seen that, it was in a little, it was in an old plastic, it was in a very old plastic sleeve coin, and here they are. So, let's see what it says. It should say the weight. I think they were like 18 grams or something. But I mean, just one in bad shape is going for like $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. So I had checked. I've been online checking, trying to figure out. And this one is the currency one with the 1 R. There's another variety with 2 R's. Spelled correctly, the 2 R's. And then this one's got the 1 R. And I know so many of and it weighs like 15 or 16 grams. So that's surprising. I mean, I think it weighs close to what it should, and I know it's got a hole in it, so it's been hoed. And I'll try to keep this up here so y'all can see it a little better. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Like I said, I know it's indented. It's got a little bend to it. And I don't even know if the sides, like they're wore. It's got wear on it, and I'm just not used to these pewter. I'm pretty sure it is pewter. It's got the right like diameter and everything on it. I measured it, and it weighs about right. But I know there was a lot of copies of these made, and I just don't know. I think I'm gonna have somebody else look at it. I mean, my first guess is it's fake, but you don't want to rule it out, especially if it's an expensive coin. And this is the first one I've seen. It doesn't say copy on it anywhere, as I've gone over it with a microscope. It's got the rays around it. It's kind of got all the markers. It looks flat to me, and like I said, it's got a little indentation, like it's got different indentions around the coin, so that I don't really know how these coins wear. This is the first one I've seen. I have seen ones that are copies, and they're very clean. they're so nice you can tell they're clean. This one's got some good wear on it and dings, like it may have been circulated a little bit. But and it feels, I mean, it feels different, like, and it weighs good. So just let me know what y'all think in the comments. I hope this thing's real. I mean, my guess is it's fake, like I said, but I'll have a couple other people look at it, and we can't tell. I'll submit it and get somebody else's ideal on it. But that would be amazing. This would be great for the family if it come back real. So I hope it is. I'm gonna try to send it off, or I'm gonna take it to the local coin shop here in the next week or two. Whenever I'm down that way, have them look at it. So that would be amazing. But that's really it. Like that's a lot of the good stuff out of the collection. The Morgans were nice. These couple finds will be good. That's the only bust. Really the only bust dime or bust anything I found in there. So a lot of these collections, I mean, this guy collected for a long time, and the first collection I bought off of him, it did have some busts and barber dimes and some mid 1800 stuff, but there wasn't really a lot of it. And that just kind of goes to show, like, this stuff's a little more rare and it's going to be harder to find. A lot of collections don't have bust halves or anything in it. A lot of it is just, they've got silver dollars and Walkers and Benjamins. And so that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to show you what I'd bought over the weekend, and I had stayed up till about 1 o'clock going through this stuff. So it's really wore me out trying to go through a big collection like this. I mean, you spend hours and hours working on it, but so I've got to spend the next couple of days getting caught up on rest. But I've got another video I'm going to try to post within a day or two if I can show you some more stuff. And if you want to see some more of this stuff, just let me know down in the comments and I will show you. I really appreciate you all watching and enjoying this hobby like I do. And I hope you all have a great day and a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Please like, share, and subscribe.